Terrific Tuesday. How are we doing, everybody? It's your man and the host, Sammy the Man McIntyre, with some Pillsbury Swole Boy edition. Can I get a hell yeah? You sure can. We are back with Moving the Chains podcast. Hope we're rocking. Hope we're rolling today. Hope we're feeling better than the 49ers today, even though they won. It looked ugly last night. Both quarterbacks. Got questions on both. Franchisers kind of, I don't know. But I got to get into that game. I wanted to touch on Steelers-Bears with Caleb Williams, and I want to touch on the Giants-Lions because there's some stuff I kind of saw that a little worrisome, but they got the win. So let me start with this. So I'm watching the Panthers last night, and I had a kind of come to fruition moment for me last night. Bryce Young's not it. I've seen enough. Again, I respect the hell out of him. He was a great player in college, won the Heisman, great kid, everything about him I like. But there's some things that are just indisputable. He's small. He looks engulfed by bigger people. And wrong place, wrong time when he got drafted. All that being said, he's, I think, a bridge right now. And I think Carolina, to me, they're in this weird spot because I'm looking at their team, and I got to give them credit. Their defense is fantastic. I mean, they said on the broadcast last night the run defense is a lot better. And it helps when you got Derek Brown, who I loved him coming out of Auburn. He got hurt all last year. Their run defense suffered tremendously. And I watched a couple Panther games, and they were pretty bad. And then they had that A'Shawn Robinson, who's been in the league a long time from Alabama. Rams, he kind of bounced around the league. So they got dudes on defense. And J.C. Horn, I will say this, when he's on, I said it pre-summer, he is fantastic. He is in that Pat Surtain, Derek Stingley mold. Long, great hands, great kid. His dad was a pro. What more could you want? But he's been hurt, and he's got the injury bug. And then last night, he gets 2 picks, which I'll dive into that in a second, by the Niners. I'll get into them. Because that was bad last night. That was pathetic by Brock Purdy. Terrible. But he got 2 picks last night, and then he's gone for the rest of the game. Now, concussions, you don't know. It's freak. But it just feels like I'm watching, and he's a player that just can't say, I don't know, he gets hit with the injury bug. But the one thing that their defense doesn't do, they don't create pressure like they have in the past. When they had Julius Peppers and Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis and Greg Hardy coming off that edge and Star Lotulelei in the middle, they don't have those kind of guys. Now, they are 15th in defense. They're pretty good. Not great. But that's where you should be. And if you're a Panther fan today, you wake up and you go, yes, we lost to the Niners. And yes, Bryce Young is not your quarterback moving forward. He is not. You need a dude back there. Okay? I'm looking at these numbers I wrote down. Bryce Young, the last 20 starts. He's 10-10. Okay. 28 touchdowns, 13 picks, with an 87 passer rating. Doesn't scream great to me. But he's okay. He'll get you by. For Carolina, they need respectable. They've been kind of laughing joke for the last couple of years. So, they've been really impressive to me. I like where they're going, direction. They have momentum on offense. I like that Dave Canales can really call a game. Their run game's solid. Their offensive line's not bad. To me, better run blocking than pass pro, but solid. I like where they're at. But Carolina's feisty, and if they don't make it this year by some freak scenario, you still got to look at it and go, we had a pretty damn good year. Had some good wins. Beat the Packers in Lambeau. 13-point underdog. You beat some really good teams. Jacksonville might be a playoff team. Now, you lost to them, but kept it close. So, I'm really encouraged by Carolina. And I came more away from them last night than I did San Francisco, because I look at Carolina, young team, Really good offensive pieces. I love Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard, Xavier Legette, Mitchell Evans, Tommy Tremble. The offensive line solid. They, to me, feel like Minnesota. Like, everything's in place. They just need a guy back there to kind of be a point guard and distribute. Now, Bryce was that in college, but that's a different animal. And I'm watching last night. He's just a bridge. And there's nothing wrong with being a bridge quarterback in the NFL. But for a guy that was picked number 1 overall, you're kind of left with this. Because it just kind of feels weird to me. Down in, down out. It's kind of this. So, Carolina's going to be okay. I'm more impressed by them in a losing effort because their defense balled out. It did suck that Bryce was getting all those chances and he couldn't cash them in. But it's hard when you're 5'10 and, it's hard to see. So, Carolina's going to be okay. I like Ted McMillan. He's flourishing. And him and Bryce got a rapport. So, you got some pieces on offense to work with in Carolina with an offensive coach. And if you're a quarterback getting drafted, that's a low-key underrated spot to go, I want to go there. Quiet market. Division's kind of crap. Tampa, how much longer? Atlanta, whatever. And New Orleans, they got a long way to go. And it's funny to me, I read a stat today, all those teams have negative point differential in the season. Crazy. I think Carolina's like negative 53. Tampa's like negative 25. I mean, it's crazy. So, Carolina, hold your head high. You pressed me more last night. It was an ugly game, no doubt. But you pressed me more last night than the Niners. And I want to touch on the Niners. Oh, the Boo Birds of Brock Purdy. The supporters coming out today. Oh, let me tell you. I'm not supporting them today. I'm ripping them. Because last night, and he could bitch and moan, and he could kind of hide behind the curtains. Oh, my toe's fine. No, it's not. And even if your toe's not fine, you're playing like donkey dick. You play awful. I mean, you're getting paid $53 million, bro. And you're playing like shit. I mean, I'm looking at these numbers again. Same with Bryce Young. Except passer rating's 96 compared to 87. That's not good. If I'm paying Brock Purdy $53 million, I need gamer. I need big. I need results. Last 20 games, 30 touchdowns, 19 picks. What? And you gave him $180 million? What was the rush? This is why these quarterback contracts are getting way over the top. And I get they're valuable. And Brock Purdy's a nice story. But it's like what Dane Lanning said. Stories are for Hollywood in football. Results. He's not getting it done. Another stat I saw. 53% completion percentage on these are passes thrown 10-plus yards down the field. 1 touchdown, 7 interceptions with 63 pass rating. That's despicable. And you're paying him that much. And I will say this with the Niners. I've always respected Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a little bit of a prick. Old school, like his dad. But be that as it may. I'm watching Brock Purdy last night. He plays like shit. He's not right. I don't know. Maybe they rushed him back. Because when I watch this offense, I watch with Mac Jones, they function better without him. Without Brock. I'm just being honest. Because I'm watching it. You are. Everybody who's watching it. There's something missing. Like, there's a... Brock moves better. I'll give you that. But I'm just not... I'm not in love with Brock Purdy. He's fine. He's like Dak. Came in the league. Kind of later round pick. Stacked rosters. Big brands. You're going to be on TV. Niners, Cowboys. But lately, something's off. And you could tell a big gap in talent. I didn't last night because both these guys on the same playing field, kind of give or take, whatever. But it's like what I said last year when I saw Buffalo, San Francisco into Buffalo. It's different, bro. You got to have a big arm guy. A strapping guy that just is big, takes hits, And I don't see it with Brock Purdy. I like him, but he was pretty shitty last night. And the Niners, from a defensive standpoint, please give Robert Saleh his flowers. Not Salah, dumbass. It's Saleh. Give him his flowers. That guy, he reminds me of myself. I was defensive coordinator. Passionate, fiery, all the above. And they're doing this, mind you, with me and all my followers on Instagram. That's who he's striding out on defense. Without Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, lost Ufunga, and their defense looks awesome. Outside the touchdown pass that, was really sweet route by Ted McMillan. Kind of up, sold him on the out, and then came back in down the post. So that was a good play design by Dave Canales and the Panthers. But outside of that, it was suffocating all night. And this defense deserves credit. And Christian McCaffrey, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't want to hear people say he's not. I don't care. This guy's a Hall of Fame talent. I mean, he's incredible. He's one of the best backs I've ever seen. Multi-purpose. Marshall Faulk comes to mind. LaDainian Tomlinson. This guy's third. I'll put Jahmyr Gibbs in there. Still got a long way to go, but he's getting in that tier to me. This kid's special. And he is their offense, by the way. He is. Brandon Ayuk, whatever. Waste of money that was. Got hurt, never been the same. Didn't get that contract at all. Niners are so... Got to pay the receiver, No, pay lineman, dumbass. So football's won. But Kyle Shanahan doesn't believe in that. That's a flaw of his, but doesn't believe it. So Niners wasn't sold last night. But you got the win. Not impressive, though. But you got the win. But I'm more impressed with this team because all the injuries they've endured and to keep fighting, keep battling. They could get in the playoffs. Who knows? How far do they go? I don't know. But they got the win. They covered the spread by 7, San Francisco. It is what it is. So I want to touch on 2 games I want to touch on. It's great having you guys in tonight. Steelers went into Chicago with Caleb Williams. Paint your nails on 3. 1, 2, 3. Paint your nails. Nail tech. Play Caleb Williams. And these 2 franchises, and I said this for last year, I think the Bears and Steelers are very similar. Defensive-centric cultures, tone-deaf offense, living in the past, big brand. 4 things they have in common. But I'm watching Pittsburgh. They are awful. Once again, history's repeating itself. They had a great run last year, 4-1. All right. They fell apart near the end again. And it's coming out again with Pittsburgh. Now, if you a playoff team, who knows? Maybe Aaron Rodgers gets back, who knows? I thought it was funny when he flipped off the Bears fan. That was funny. Now, it wasn't like during a game or after, like Geno Smith did. I'll get to him tomorrow. But it was funny. But didn't mean anything. This offense is terrible. And you know what's funny? Pittsburgh got rid of George Pickens. He's got more receiving yards than the whole Steelers team does. And they gave DK Metcalf $150 million. When you don't really have a deep threat passing game. Everything's short and underneath. The Steelers, I understand tradition, and I get it. But after, Mike Tomlinson needs to be hot. I don't know why they keep hanging on to this. They're like a mediocrityville. It's stupid, and it's dumb. Now, do I care? No. But this is not a shot at Mike Tomlin. It's time to go. Divorce is time. He's been there 18 years. He won a Super Bowl. Okay. He hasn't won a playoff game in 8 years. And all I keep hearing is, winning seasons, winning. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is you're falling short of the standard that is the Steelers. Your standard is bullshit. And this defense, who you paid a ton to, sucks ass. It is god-awful. I saw DJ Moore literally down the seam. Nobody within 10 yards of him. Nobody. And you're trotting that out? Where's the accountability? Huh? Where is it? It's nowhere to be found in Pittsburgh. It's all pom-pom waivers. It's all, oh, praise Tomlin. No, I'm not going to. Because Pittsburgh needs to do a hard reset. I love TJ Watt. He's a stud. But that's about it on defense. You're not making plays. You're out of position. You're not in the right spot. It looks bad. Bad news bears bad. And Pittsburgh has no creativity offensively. None. It's sad because the Steelers, when they've been good, they've had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. If I'm them, bottom out and get Dante Moore. Do it. What is the risk? Like, the standard of what? Being mid? That's not the Steelers standard. Steelers standard Super Bowls. Watch this game long enough. But that's lost. And I think Art Rooney II is to blame for this. I really do. And this new GM's, I don't think he's great at all. I think our draft's been piss poor. I don't love him. Too defensive-centric. Because I'm watching Chicago. I'll get to them in a second. They pivoted from what they used to be like Pittsburgh. So defensive-centric, tone-deaf to offense. Not anymore. Pittsburgh, bottom out, get a new coach, get some new juice. Because that's what you need right now. And on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. You're doing well, Chicago. You're 8-3. You're looking good. But I'm not impressed still. I know, I'm a critic. Sorry. Caleb drives me. He would, if I was his coach, he would drive me crazy. He misses 7 layups a game. That's embarrassing. I looked at his numbers. Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns and no turnovers and okay. That completion percentage is awful. Terrible. 19-32. What? With those weapons, that coach? Not acceptable to me. None. Now, I appreciate that they're running the ball better and they're taking pressure off them, which you need to do for a young quarterback. But that bothers me. Now, maybe I got to come to terms with Caleb's going to be like Brett Favre, never going to be precision guy. I don't know. I think you get away with that in Brett Favre's day. Now it's more precision-based, timing, that sort of thing. And I don't know if Caleb ever has it. Now, the Bears' offensive weapons are nice. DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland. I'm impressed by the Bears. But you got to beat the Packers, and you got to beat the Lions. But we beat the Vikings, Sammy. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy's trash. 9. Stupid. Dumb. That's not alter ego you need to have, asshole. So, it's, the Bears, I give them credit. Because they pivoted off a defensive-centric culture to an offensive-centric culture. Now, it's still not offensively centric, but they pivoted into that right direction to kind of be progressive. Pittsburgh's not. I can't take Pittsburgh seriously. I really can't. It's time to move on. Time to blow this fucking thing up and start over. Because it's just not going to get any better. It's the same shit, different year. And last but not least, Giants-Lions. Derek Solomon, Mike Kesnick, love you guys. Biggest Lions fan I know. And I'm pulling for the Lions too. I root for them. I love Dan Campbell. Brad Holmes done a kick-ass job. Root for Jared Goff. They're easy to root. And rightfully so they are. But that was kind of weird on Sunday. It's a little weird to me watching the Lions kind of struggle with the Giants. Yikes. But that happens. And they got the win. But I still kind of, something's missing. And I was thinking about it today. I think losing Ben Johnson hurts. It really does. Because Dan Campbell's not a scheme guy. And that's fine. But you got to have a great coordinator, right? And when you had Ben Johnson, it was like attitude era, just peak. And I still think their offense they're always going to score points on offense. I'm never disputing that. Too much talent. Sam Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown. Their O-line's okay. Not what it was last year. But as long as you have Dan Campbell as your coach, I don't doubt the Lions. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because they're 2-run right now. And I think the Lions are elite. They're not as elite as they were last year. But I wouldn't want to face the Lions. If they get their shit together, which they should Thursday against the Packers, this is a get-right game. They whipped your ass first week of the year. Now, granted, it was on their turf. They come to your turf. Time to defend your turf. And beat the Packers. And on the flip side of the Giants, this is embarrassing. I mean, for a Giants franchise that prides itself on being tough and physical, they're not. Shane Bowen deserved to be fired. I hate having people lose their jobs, and I've lost my job. It sucks. But when you blow 5 fourth-quarter leads, that's embarrassing. And I'm starting to think, too, like, should they have just played Jameis the whole year? Because they were far more entertaining yesterday than they've been. Kind of play Jameis and then ease Jackson Dart in. And then Brian Daboll will keep his job. I just find that fascinating. And just wait till next year. They get Scatterboo back and Malik Neighbors. That's pretty great. I mean, that's an attractive job. It's New York City. You have some some pieces in place in New York. It's going to be an interesting offseason for the Giants. I do think they're not as bad as the record is, but they got a long way to go. They got a long way to go. So that's all I got for terrific Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Content throughout the week. It's Thanksgiving weekend, rivalry week. Fantastic. I can't wait. Hope you guys are doing well. Adios. Godspeed.